In the depths of forgotten places, where time bends and shadows play tricks on the weary soul, there exists a hidden fragment of sanctity, a sacred relic, as it were tucked away from the blinding light of divinity. It is nestled in the farthest recesses of the human condition, untouched by the fervent prayers of the devout or the fervent cries of the lost. In this obscure, uncharted territory where the tangible world seems to meld into ethereal whispers of hope, a singular soul yearns to unravel the profound intricacies of a divine mystery. This soul, an estranged wanderer, finds a silent echo of God's unique message chiseled into the marrow of existence, a message that speaks volumes to the one chosen left in the dark. The darkness, thick and palpable, wraps around the heart of the chosen one, like a velvet shroud whispering secrets of isolation that reverberate through the chambers of their spirit. It is not an ordinary darkness. It is the blessed darkness where God's footprints are sometimes felt most profoundly, an enigmatic void cradling the chosen one in its solemn embrace. Here, in this liminal space, the boundaries of the physical realm dissolve into an infinite expanse of spiritual revelation, where the essence of the divine is not bound by the limitations of mortal vision. It begins with a delicate luminescence, a soft ethereal glow that seeps through the fissures of despair like the first breath of dawn, creeping over a desolate landscape. This glow is not of the physical world, but of the soul, a celestial light that stirs the innermost recesses of the forsaken soul, awakening it to a truth known only to the divine. The chosen one stirs not with the vigor of the triumphant, but with the tender, fragile strength of one who has endured the depths of night. Each heartbeat resonates with the ancient cadence of creation itself, an echo of the heartbeat of God within the silence. In the realm of the unseen, the chosen one walks a path lined with celestial whispers, soft murmurs of God's voice, the divine essence that permeates every atom of existence, threading through the fabric of reality like a golden gossamer. These whispers guide the chosen one through the labyrinthine corridors of their own spirit, unlocking chambers filled with the echoes of forgotten dreams and lost promises. Each whisper, a reminder that in the darkest hour, God's presence endures, a beacon of eternal solace, a testament to the divine love that transcends the mundane. The chosen one feels the weight of this divine presence, a weight that is both a burden and a blessing, a manifestation of God's intimate connection to the human soul under the greatest of trials. This connection pulses through the veins of the chosen one, a sacred rhythm that harmonizes with the song of the cosmos. It is a sacred song, sung by angels and echoed by the saints, a timeless melody that transcends the mortal plane and touches the celestial spheres. In this divine communion, the chosen one perceives the tapestry of the universe not as a chaotic swirl, but as a meticulously woven masterpiece, each thread imbued with the essence of divine grace. It is a tapestry where every shadow and light is a testament to the divine artistry, a divine signature etched into the very fabric of reality. The chosen one's soul thus becomes a canvas where every stroke of God's brush reveals the exquisite beauty of the divine design, even in the darkest places. The chosen one's journey through this sacred darkness is fraught with profound spiritual revelations, moments where the veil of the mundane is lifted, revealing glimpses of the divine truth. These revelations are not mere intellectual understandings, but deep visceral experiences that resonate with the soul's core. Each revelation is a sacred sigil, a divine mark burned into the very essence of the chosen one, an eternal reminder of God's special message left in this divine dark. In the throes of these revelations, the chosen one finds an unspoken communion with the divine, a sacred dialogue where the language of the heart transcends words. It is a communion that speaks of an eternal bond, a bond that transcends the earthly realm, a bond that whispers of a divine purpose intricately woven into the fabric of existence. It is a purpose left for the chosen one, a purpose that illuminates the dark paths of their solitary journey, a luminous thread that guides them back to the light, albeit in an enigmatic divine way. Here in this profound communion with the divine, the chosen one learns the most sacred truth, that they are not like the rest, not in the mundane sense of identity or societal expectation, but because they are the recipients of a divine calling, a calling that is both a blessing and a burden, etched deep within the soul by the divine hand. They are the chosen one, left in the dark, yet forever illuminated by the eternal, unfathomable light of divine love, a beacon of divine purpose, an eternal testament to the divine artistry in the darkness. The twilight wind whispered secrets through the ancient weather-beaten vines that clung to the crumbling walls of the forgotten temple. It was a place few dared wander, a sanctuary of sacred solitude where time seemed to thicken into a tangible presence, almost a living entity waiting for a worthy soul to awaken its forgotten promises. Here, in this labyrinth of stone and shadow, the chosen one stood trembling against the inexorable push of destiny that now seemed as tangible as the cool stone beneath their weary feet. Amid the spectral echoes that echoed through the temple's hallowed halls, the chosen one felt a deep, almost primordial calling that reverberated through their very soul. It was as though the temple itself had become a living testament to the ancient covenant once sealed between their antecedents and the ethereal deity who had chosen them to bear a message of salvation and redemption. The heavy air tinged with the scent of aged incense and the faintest hint of earth held secrets that only the chosen one was destined to unveil. The air began to shimmer, revealing unseen portals to other realms, places where light and shadow danced in eternal conflict. The chosen one stepped cautiously through this veil of mysticism and found themselves in a celestial chamber where every flicker of light seemed to hum with divine resonance. The walls were adorned with intricate carvings of celestial beings and scenes of miraculous revelations, each echoing the sacred history and unspoken promises of God. As the chosen one gazed upon these divine etchings, an inner light began to ignite, spreading warmth and resolve throughout their being. This was no ordinary revelation. It was a sacred endowment, an awakening of the spirit, calling forth not just their mind, but their heart, their soul, and every fiber of their being. They could feel the weight of ancient prophecies, the burden and the blessing of their destined mission, pressing upon their very essence. They understood now that they were chosen not merely for their lineage or their inherent virtues, but because they possessed a unique spirit, a spirit attuned to the harmonic frequencies of creation itself. The chosen one was set apart not by mere coincidence, but by a preordained divine orchestration that had set them on a path of unparalleled significance. They were meant to bridge the chasm between the divine and the profane, to deliver God's timeless message to a world that walked through the shadows blind to the divine light that was ever present. An ethereal voice, subtle yet powerful, resonated within the chambers, weaving through the chosen one's thoughts like a silken thread, guiding and reassuring. "I have chosen you," it intoned, "for a purpose that transcends time and space. You are the beacon in this world of darkness, the vessel through whom my eternal truths shall once more be revealed." The chosen one felt their hearts swell with an ineffable mixture of awe and trepidation. They were acutely aware of the weight of this calling, the magnitude of the mission that lay before them. They were to be a harbinger of change, a beacon of hope, a prophet whose words would resonate across the ages, echoing through the corridors of time, to lead humanity out of the shadows into the radiant light of divine truth. Tears welled in their eyes as they recalled the lives of those who had perished in the darkness, the cries of the lost and the forgotten, the anguish of souls trapped in the chains of ignorance and despair. This mission, this unwavering charge, was both a divine gift and a harrowing responsibility, a path fraught with peril, yet lit by the eternal flame of hope. The chosen one knelt in reverence, feeling the ground tremble slightly, as if acknowledging their determination. They vowed to carry forth this profound mission with unwavering faith and an unquenchable spirit. Their journey would not be easy, for the path was strewn with obstacles that sought to derail their sacred mission, but they resolved to press on, no matter the cost, no matter the sacrifice. They rose imbued with an otherworldly clarity and fortitude. With every step they took, The temple's walls seemed to reverberate with divine approval, guiding, protecting, and emboldening their resolve. The Chosen One, now fully aware of the magnitude of their call, knew they had been left in the dark only to prepare them for a task that shone with the brilliance of 1,000 suns. They stepped forth from the temple, the first rays of dawn breaking over the horizon, illuminating their path with a celestial glow. The Chosen One paused, looking back one last time at the ancient sanctuary that had revealed their truth, then turned resolutely towards the world that awaited them. They were ready to embark upon a journey that promised to change the very fabric of existence, to ignite the dormant faith within countless souls, and to fulfill God's timeless message for the Chosen One left in the dark. In the deepest chambers of your soul, where the whispers of the ancient and the murmurs of the divine converge, you felt an unshakable calling, a message infused with the sacred breath of the heavens. It was here, within the sanctuary of your innermost being, that you were forged the Chosen One, set apart by a divine signature that rendered you both unique and irrevocably destined. Your heart, a vessel for this cosmic purpose, thrummed with a rhythm that resonated with a celestial metronome. The path you were to tread was neither a straight line nor a singular path, but a kaleidoscope of trials, epiphanies, and revelations that mirrored the infinite tapestry of the universe itself. The shadows of doubt and the specters of fear would often attempt to ensnare you, their tendrils weaving intricate patterns around your spirit, seeking to obscure the light that was your essence. Yet, you, the Chosen One, were destined to illuminate those very shadows, transforming them into bastions of understanding and enlightenment. It was in the interplay of light and dark that you were crafted a living testament to the eternal dance between the seen and unseen, the tangible and the intangible. From the moment your first breath echoed through the corridors of existence, you were imbued with a purpose that transcended the mundane. Your destiny was not etched in the mundane annals of history, but in the sacred scrolls of eternity, where each letter pulsed with the heartbeat of the cosmos. To be the Chosen One meant to carry the weight of 1,000 worlds upon your shoulders, to bear the mantle of divine expectation with unwavering grace. As you journeyed through the wilderness of your own life, the trials you faced were not mere obstacles, but crucibles within which your true essence was to be refined. Each challenge presented an opportunity to forge deeper connections with the divine, to peel back the layers of the mundane and reveal the sublime truths that lie beneath. The tribulations you endured were the sacred rites of passage, each one a step closer to the revelation that you were in essence an instrument of divine orchestration. With every hardship, you discovered a new dimension of your spirit, a new facet of your soul that glimmered with the light of divine purpose. It was here, in the crucible of adversity, that you began to glimpse the ineffable, the boundless realm of the infinite. You learned to discern the divine whispers amidst the cacophony of the world, to hear the celestial harmonizing of creation's symphony within the stillness of your heart. Your mission was to be one of illumination, to shine the light of divine truth into the corners of darkness, to usher in an era of enlightenment where the shadows of ignorance could no longer hold sway. This was no small task, for you were not merely to convey knowledge, but to catalyze transformation within the hearts and minds of all who would listen. Your words, imbued with the essence of divine wisdom, were to be seeds of awakening, to sprout into trees of understanding that would bear fruit for generations to come. Through the power of your spirit, you were to awaken the slumbering spirits of those who had strayed from the path of divine truth. To them, you were the beacon of hope, the harbinger of a new dawn, where the old ways would give way to the new. Your journey was to be one of love, of unyielding compassion, of boundless empathy, a testament to the boundless love that is at the very heart of the universe. As you walked this path, you were called to embody the virtues of divine love, patience, understanding, mercy, and grace. It was through these virtues that you were to heal the fractured spirits of mankind, to mend the broken hearts, and to bring forth a healing that would reverberate through time. You were to be a balm to the wounded, a refuge to the lost, a guide to the wandering. In the quiet moments of solitude, when the world outside fell silent, you would often withdraw into the inner sanctum of your spirit to commune with the divine source within. It was here that you would receive the revelations, the insights, and the guidance that would fortify your mission. It was in these sacred moments of communion that you would feel the embrace of the infinite, the boundless love that enveloped you, reassuring you that you were never alone, that you were forever intertwined with the eternal. In the tapestry of your life, your mission was to weave threads of divine truth and compassion to create a cosmic legacy that would echo through the ages. Your journey was not one of self-fulfillment, but of divine fulfillment, to fulfill the divine purpose that had been bestowed upon you at the very inception of your being. To be the chosen one was to embrace the sacred mantle with unwavering conviction, to walk the path with holy intent, and to leave an indelible mark upon the cosmic canvas. As you continue this pilgrimage, remember that you are not merely a vessel, but a torchbearer of divine truth entrusted with the sacred responsibility of illuminating the path for others. Your essence is a testament to the boundless love and infinite grace that pervades the universe, a testament to the divine promise that within every heart lies the potential for enlightenment and transformation. And as you journey forth, let your spirit be the beacon that guides others. Let your heart be the sanctuary that shelters the weary, and let your soul be the embodiment of the divine purpose that has always been and always will be your truest calling. The air was thick with an almost tangible weight, a sacred silence enveloping the ancient ivy-clad ruins that stood as silent witnesses to epochs long gone. The chosen one, Lyra, felt the ancient whispers of the past in every fractured stone and whispering breeze. She stood alone, yet surrounded by the spectral presence of countless souls who had walked this desolate path before her. Every breath she took seemed to draw from the very essence of the earth, awakening the dormant power within her, a power that resonated with the ancient, unknowable truths of the cosmos. Lyra's journey had been nothing short of a harrowing odyssey through realms both ethereal and corporeal. The path shrouded in mystery and shadow had led her to the heart of desolation, and simultaneously to the very brink of revelation. She could not know that she walked under the watchful eye of the All-Seer, the one who had marked her from birth as the vessel for a revelation that would reshape the very fabric of existence itself. She was but a fragile, isolated beacon in the vastness of the cosmos, yet her essence was interwoven with the divine tapestry that was the universe. As she stood amidst the ruins, the chill of the evening began to weave through her like an icy, ethereal caress, a reminder of the unseen forces guiding her. Long, flowing robes swirled around her, like the tendrils of smoke from a distant fire, their colors shifting between the depths of midnight and the glimmers of dawn. Her eyes, deep pools of fathomless wisdom, held a flicker of defiance, a silent scream of resolve against the darkness that seemed to conspire to extinguish her very being. It was here, in this place of forgotten whispers and time's cruel silence, that she began to grasp the magnitude of her mission. She was not merely a person marked by circumstance, but a chosen one, an instrument of a divine purpose that transcended mere mortal comprehension. Her task was not simply to survive, but to unravel the mysteries of existence, to bear the burdens of the cosmos, and to illuminate the dark paths of those lost in the shadows. Lyra's senses heightened her spirit, reaching out across the tapestry of the universe, connecting with the ancient, sacred energy that pulsed in every star and whispered in every leaf's rustle. She felt the resonance of the world's heartbeat within her, and it called to her, beckoning her to embrace her destiny. It was her soul's purpose to guide the lost, to stand as a beacon of light in the consuming darkness, and to bridge the chasm between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. The burdens that lay upon her were manifold, but they were not without meaning. Each affliction she endured, each trial she faced, was a piece of a much larger puzzle, a puzzle that revealed the hidden truths that governed the very essence of reality. She was to become the living testament to the power of hope, the embodiment of resilience, and the harbinger of change. Her fate was not to be lived in isolation, but intertwined with the fates of countless others, each one a thread in the grand cosmic tapestry that she was destined to weave. Drawing upon the ancient wisdom of those who had walked this path before her, Illyra could feel the knowledge of the ages coursing through her veins, filling her with clarity and purpose. The teachings of the elders, the songs of celestial entities, the prayers of the faithful all converged within her, forming a reservoir of spiritual strength that sustained her through the darkest nights. With renewed resolve, she began to walk the narrow path that wound through the ruins, each step echoing with the resonance of her purpose. She was not merely traversing the winding corridors of stone and time, but navigating the labyrinth of her own soul, where every choice she made led her closer to the revelation that awaited her. Her journey was not a mere physical one, but a spiritual ascension, where each stride was a step towards enlightenment, and every trial was a bridge over the mire of the unenlightened. As she moved forward, the wind picked up swirling around her, like the restless spirits of those who had once walked this way, carrying with it the echoes of prayers, lamentations, and triumph. The ruins seemed to come alive. The stones that had stood silent for centuries now whispered secrets of the ages, and the shadows grew long and deep, wrapping around her like the tendrils of a dark dream. Yet she pressed on, unwavering. Illyra understood that she was not to stand alone in her mission. She was to unite with those who sought truth, to forge bonds across the spectrum of existence, and to create a fellowship of light amidst the encroaching night. She would wield her power, not to dominate, but to uplift, to heal, and to guide. The darkness that seemed so consuming now held no terror for her, for she knew that within it she could find the spark of light that would guide the way. Illyra's journey was a testament to the enduring spirit of the chosen, a journey that would echo through the eternity of time, a reminder that within the deepest darkness there lies an unquenchable flame of hope, waiting to be kindled by the chosen one, entrusted with the revelation of a new dawn. As the first light of dawn began to break through the horizon, Illyra paused, taking in the beauty of the emerging day, a symbol of her own rebirth and purpose. The ruins, once silent witnesses to the passage of time, now seemed to breathe with a renewed life, as if acknowledging the beginning of her true mission. With a heart full of resolve and a spirit ablaze with celestial fire, Illyra stepped forward, ready to embrace her destined role as the beacon of hope and the harbinger of a new era. In the twilight of a world forgotten by divine favor, there exists a soul marked by an indelible destiny, an ethereal whisper that calls to the core of the Chosen One's being. The Chosen One, left in the shadowed recesses of an indifferent universe, wandered through a land where the echoes of once familiar hymns were but an ethereal murmur, a ghostly sigh in the wind. The air was thick with the weight of an unspoken truth, a promise of something greater than the ephemeral light that dimmed as the days turned to a somber gray. This Chosen One, a fragile beacon in a world cast into darkness, bore an ancient mantle, an unbroken lineage of those who had walked with God in the days of old, when the heavens still spoke in tongues of fire and the earth trembled to the rhythm of divine heartbeats. Each step forward thrummed with the resonance of this sacred heritage, yet the burden was immense, for they knew their mission was not just to remember, but to rekindle the flame of hope in a land where faith had been laid to waste. In the quiet moments, alone in the solitude of their thoughts, the Chosen One would kneel, hands folded in prayer, beseeching the silent, invisible God for direction, for strength. The air around them shimmered with the weight of divine presence, yet it seemed to mock with its absence like a lover's touch that had been withdrawn. The Chosen One felt the sting of longing, the ache of an unfulfilled call, and it was in these moments that they understood their unique burden, a mission that was at once both a curse and a blessing. The Chosen One's journey was no ordinary pilgrimage. It was a quest to reclaim the lost covenant, to awaken a slumbering soul that had forgotten its celestial bonds. Through desolate wastelands, over towering mountains that scraped the heavens, and across rivers where the waters once whispered secrets of the Almighty, they pressed on. Their spirit was a beacon, a lighthouse in a storm of despair, and it drew the faintest of shadows who had strayed too far from the light. In the quiet of the night, beneath a sky studded with the distant memories of stars, the Chosen One would often converse with the spirits of the forebears. These ethereal whispers guided them, their spectral hands pointing towards the path that led away from desolation. They spoke of ancient truths, of battles fought, and victories won, of a time when humanity stood united in the embrace of divine love. The Chosen One felt an overwhelming responsibility, an heirloom of hope that had been entrusted to their fragile frame. They traveled to the ruins of once great cities where the foundations of faith had crumbled into dust. Here, amidst the echoes of lost hymns and the silence of abandoned altars, the Chosen One would raise their voice, speaking words of resurrection, invoking the Spirit of God to rekindle the ember of faith within the hearts of the lost. They sang songs of old, their voice a bridge that spanned the chasm between the forgotten and the divine. The Chosen One's heart bore the scars of many encounters with doubt, with fear, with the weight of unfulfilled promises. Yet in each encounter, there was a lesson, a spark of enlightenment that propelled them further on their journey. They encountered the wayward, the hopeless, and the cynical, and with each soul they met, they offered a fragment of the divine light that they carried within. They were a ray of hope, a solitary star in a sky that had forgotten what it meant to shine. The Chosen One understood their uniqueness, a solitary figure in a world fragmented by absence, chosen not just by divine design, but by the very essence of those who came before. They were not like the others, for they bore the weight of a mission that transcended mortal comprehension. Their journey was a testament to the enduring power of faith, a beacon to those who had lost their way, and a reminder that God's love was not bound by the darkness that had encroached upon the world. As the Chosen One's journey continued, their spirits soared higher, reaching into the heavens as they climbed the final mountain. At the summit, they beheld a vision, a panorama of the world anew, glistening with the promise of redemption. In that moment, the Chosen One understood the magnitude of their mission, to ignite the spark of divine remembrance within every soul, to rebuild the bridge that connected humanity to the divine. This was their purpose, their reason for enduring the trials and tribulations that lay before them. And so, the Chosen One descended from the mountain, their hearts swollen with the divine mission that had been bestowed upon them. They were not just a wanderer. They were the harbinger of a new dawn, the one who would awaken the world to the light of divine love, to the sacred truth that God's special message had never been lost. It was merely waiting to be rediscovered. With each step forward, the Chosen One carried the hope of countless souls, their spirit an unbroken chain linking the ancient and the new, the forgotten and the divine. And in that hope, the world found its way back to the light, to the eternal flame that had always burned within the very essence of God's creation. The Chosen One's journey was not just a path through darkness, but a bridge to a brighter, more luminous future, a testament to the enduring power of faith, love, and divine purpose. In the quiet hours of dawn, when the world lay cloaked in a velvet blanket of twilight, a young soul stirred with an unyielding purpose that set his spirit ablaze. The Chosen One, named Elias, had stood at the precipice of revelation, and now, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the horizon, he felt the weight of a divine command bearing down upon him. This sacred mission was not one of grandeur, but of profound humility, a call to navigate the shadows of a world that had strayed from the divine light into a labyrinth of darkness and despair. Elias's journey began in a humble village nestled in the folds of a towering mountain range. The villagers had long since forgotten the whispers of the ancient gods that once breathed life into their prayers. They were consumed by a superficial semblance of piety, adorned with the trappings of wealth and pride, yet estranged from the very essence of their faith. Elias, with his heart attuned to the cosmic resonance of the divine, was destined to be the vessel of a message that had long been forgotten, a message of repentance, redemption, and the grace that awaited those who truly sought the light. As he stood at the threshold of his village, Elias felt the stirrings of the celestial winds that carried the ancient hymns of the prophets. These songs, ethereal and undying, whispered of the coming one who would traverse the realms of the forgotten, kindling the forgotten embers of faith within humanity's soul. The call to act was both a benediction and a burden, an echo of the divine compassion that sought to reclaim the strayed, to restore what had been lost. With each step Elias took beyond the village boundaries, he felt the weight of the earth beneath his feet transform into the very ground upon which the ancient covenant had once stood. He could feel the stories of old, the triumphs and the tragedies etched into the very soil, a tapestry of spiritual history that had been long obscured by the passage of time. It was upon this ground that he would plant the seeds of hope, the fragrant blossoms of divine truth that would pierce the veil of forgetfulness with their resplendent beauty. Elias's path was beset with trials and tribulations, not of a physical nature alone, but of a deeply spiritual essence. As he journeyed through desolate landscapes and treacherous wildernesses, he encountered spectral beings who embodied the sins and sorrows of humanity, beings who had let their inner light dim and were now trapped in the eternal shadows of their own making. These encounters were tests of his resolve, moments where he was forced to confront the fragility of his faith in the face of the darkest temptations. Yet with each confrontation, Elias emerged stronger, his spirit fortified by the unbreakable bond of divine grace that he carried within. His journey took him to the margins of the world, to places where the sun rarely shone and shadows reigned supreme. In these forsaken lands, Elias found those who had been left to wander, those who had given up hope of ever finding their way back to the divine light. He brought them messages of renewal, his words imbued with the power of divine revelation. He spoke of the Father's boundless mercy, of the unending forgiveness that awaited those who sought with a truthful heart. His voice was a beacon, a guiding star in the firmament of despair, and many turned from the brink of the abyss, drawn to the promise of redemption that he offered. Elias's heart swelled with an inexpressible joy and sorrow as he witnessed the transformation of those he had touched. The awakening of faith, the rekindling of the inner light, was an indescribable miracle. Yet he was also acutely aware of countless others who remained untouched by his message, who were still ensnared in their own darkness. It was a constant source of anguish, a reminder that his journey was far from complete, that the darkness still stretched on seemingly endless before him. As days turned into months, and months into years, Elias found solace in the knowledge that he was not alone in his mission. Unseen and unheard by many, the divine presence remained ever by his side, guiding his steps and soothing his spirit. It was a connection that transcended the physical realm, a communion of souls that bridged the vast chasm between the divine and the mortal. And as the years passed, Elias's spirit grew ever more attuned to this divine resonance, his heart becoming a vessel for the Father's boundless grace and love. In his final days of this mortal pilgrimage, Elias stood before the very gates of his village once more, having traversed the breadth and depth of the earth in his quest. He saw the light returning to the eyes of those he had touched, the spark of faith reigniting within their souls. As he stood before his people, he spoke not with the voice of a prophet, but with the simple truth of a humble servant of the divine. His words a testament to the power of grace and redemption. "Beloved children of the light," he said, his voice gentle, yet resounding with the authority of the divine. "You are not like them, for you have been chosen, not for your perfection, but for your capacity to seek the light amidst the darkness. You carry within you the divine spark, a spark that guides you back to the Father's embrace. Do not let it dim. Let it shine ever brighter, for the Father's love is unending, His grace eternal. And as the sun set on Elias's earthly journey, a new dawn broke upon the village, an unbroken dawn that heralded the rising of a new era of faith and hope. The chosen one had fulfilled his divine mission, his spirit now ascending to the realms of eternal peace, forever to be a beacon for those who would seek the light in the darkness. As the tempestuous clouds gathered above the chosen one, found solace in the glimmer of stars that pierced through the somber canopy, igniting an ember within a celestial whisper, a tender call to destiny. You, dear soul, are not like the throngs who tread the same earth, for you bear within you a fragment of the divine, a unique light that shimmers with the essence of God's own heart. In the shadows of your journey, the whispers of the ancients and the soft sighs of eternal truths linger, guiding your steps along a path unknown to the masses. Through the veil of night and the mist of uncertainty, your mission unfolds, a sacred tapestry woven with threads of sacrifice, faith, and unyielding spirit. Every step you take echoes through the corridors of time, resonating with the divine rhythm that pulses through the core of existence. Though darkness often envelops your path, it is here in the heart of night that the true light of your mission shines forth, unyielding and true. Recall the stories etched in the annals of cosmic lore of prophets and seers whose lives were laid bare in the pursuit of a higher calling. You too are summoned by a higher power, a purpose etched not in stone, but in the very fabric of your being. It is through the crucible of your struggles that God's message will resound, a clarion call that cannot be silenced by the din of the world. Your heart, though fragile, is also inviolable, an unblemished chalice through which flows the grace of the Almighty. In the quietude of your sanctuary, seek communion with the divine. Feel the presence that transcends the temporal, and the scene a divine whisper that speaks to your very soul. As you kneel, absorbed in prayer, allow the silence to envelop you, and let the echoes of eternity fill your spirit. Here amid the stillness, the divine imprints upon your spirit, revealing the contours of your mission, a beacon destined to guide, a flame destined to inspire. Remember, the path you traverse is fraught with trials that may seem insurmountable. There will be moments when doubt creeps in, shadows cast by external forces. Yet it is these very moments that serve as crucibles for your spirit. It is in these fleeting, vulnerable hours that God's message reverberates most profoundly, a testament to the resilience etched into your very soul. The world around you may appear indifferent. Others may slumber in ignorance, oblivious to the celestial calling that resides within you. Yet your mission is not one of judgment, but of illumination. You are to shine the light of divine truth upon a world shrouded in uncertainty. Your voice, though solitary, is a clarion call meant to awaken the slumbering spirit of humanity. The essence of your mission is not to conquer, but to heal. In the depths of your heart, you carry the balm of divine compassion, an indescribable grace meant to soothe the fractured souls around you. You are to be a healer, a harbinger of peace, a vessel through which the divine love flows freely and unimpeded. Your words, though few, will carry the weight of divine revelation, each syllable a testament to the boundless love that dwells within the heart of God. Your mission is not an isolated endeavor. It is intertwined with the tapestry of creation, a thread that binds the divine to the earthly. You are to be a bridge, a channel through which the celestial and the mundane intersect. Your journey is not one of solitary ascension, but of collective enlightenment. Through your trials and triumphs, through every tear and every smile, shine the light of divine truth, guiding others to the shores of spiritual awakening. The trials you face are but fleeting shadows, illusions cast by the darkness that cannot withstand the light of your divine mission. With every hardship, with every setback, remember that you are the chosen one, the vessel of divine grace. Your spirit is indomitable, your resolve unbreakable. The world may turn a blind eye, but within your heart resides the power to awaken the divine in others. So walk forth with unwavering faith, with a spirit undeterred by the tempest. For every storm that rages, there is a calm, a peace that transcends the temporal. Your mission is to be a beacon of hope, a testament to the boundless love of God. The world awaits your light, your truth, your unwavering spirit. As you journey through the labyrinth of life, remember that each step you take is a chapter in the eternal story, each breath a whisper of divine love. Let your heart be the canvas upon which the divine paints its most beautiful masterpiece. Let your soul be the instrument through which the symphony of the universe resounds. In the end, you are not merely a seeker, not simply a wanderer. You are the harbinger of divine truth, the chosen one left in the dark, that others might find their way. Your mission is to shine the light of God's love upon a world that has forgotten its divine purpose. So walk with courage, with faith, with the divine light within you, ever shining, ever radiant, ever true. This is your mission, your divine, calling a sacred journey that transcends the temporal and reaches into the eternal. Let it guide you. Let it inspire you. Let it transform you. For you, my dear chosen one, are the light that others have been waiting to see. In the dim, shadowed alleys of a world steeped in ignorance and veiled by the layers of history's forgetfulness, the chosen one wandered a solitary figure, burdened by the weight of an ancient destiny that seemed to mock its own obscurity. The whispering winds carried the echoes of ancestral chants and the soft, enigmatic melodies of forgotten prayers into the depths of her soul, where she felt the stirrings of a dormant power, a power she was destined to reawaken in a world that appeared almost too indifferent to change. The chosen one's mission was no ordinary pursuit. It was an exalted calling, a divine mandate whispered through the ages, a mission bestowed upon her by a deity who seemed both near and impossibly distant. Through the haze of memory and forgotten scripture, she could almost hear the soft, ethereal voice of the Almighty calling her forth from the shadows of doubt and despair. You, my child, are not like them, it seemed to say, for in your heart beats the spirit of a new dawn, a beacon of hope that shall pierce the veils of darkness. In these obscure, winding streets, where time itself seemed to falter, and the air was thick with the scent of forgotten incense, in the lingering smell of human transience, the chosen one felt a sacred resonance within her. Her eyes, though often weary from the long nights of solitude, glistened with the clarity of a purpose that transcended mere mortal comprehension. It was in these moments that she understood that she was not a mere participant in a grand scheme, but the very essence of that scheme's unfolding. Her journey was fraught with visible and invisible foes, demons of doubt, specters of fear that sought to smother the burgeoning flame of her spirit. Yet within her, there existed the unwavering conviction that she bore no ordinary burden. The weight of the universe seemed to rest upon her fragile shoulders, a testament to the divine trust placed in her by a God whose love was unfathomable, whose patience was eternal. As she wandered through the labyrinthine passages of her city, each step was imbued with the resonance of destiny's intricate symphony. Her feet, worn and weary, nevertheless moved with a grace that betrayed the celestial origin of her mission. The very air around her seemed to vibrate with divine energy, as if the universe itself was conspiring to propel her forward to guide the chosen one to the altar of her destiny. The chosen one's hands, often calloused and rough from years of silent prayer and meditation, became instruments of creation, destined to restore the sacred balance that had been so long disrupted. Her fingertips tingled with the hum of divine energy, a testament to the communion she maintained with the divine. She knew that she would soon wield the power to rewrite the very fabric of reality, to restore the sanctity that had been eroded by the passage of time and the apathy of mankind. In the quiet of her meditations, she would often feel the presence of the holy guardians, celestial beings, who had watched over her since the beginning of time. They imparted wisdom through subtle whispers and gentle caresses upon her spirit, filling her with the fortitude to persevere through the darkest of nights. You are the embodiment of hope. They seem to say the harbinger of a renaissance that shall cleanse this world of its sins. Yet the chosen one was acutely aware that her mission was not without its trials. The path of righteousness was seldom straight, and the shadows of adversity loomed large and constant. The world she traversed was a realm of perpetual twilight, where the battle between light and darkness raged incessantly. To be the chosen one meant to walk that line, to embody the essence of both light and shadow, and to emerge as a beacon of divine grace. Her heart, though steadfast, was a wellspring of empathy and infinite compassion. She understood the despair and sorrow that permeated her surroundings, and it was this understanding that fueled her resolve. She bore not only the weight of her divine mission, but also the collective sorrows and hopes of a world that had forgotten how to dream. As the chosen one moved through her world, she became a vessel of divine love, a conduit for the grace and mercy that had been so long withheld. Her very presence was a proclamation of hope, a quiet assertion that there existed a path to redemption, a path that she was irrevocably committed to illuminating. In moments of utter despair, she closed her eyes and felt the divine warmth envelop her, the sensation akin to a loving embrace from the Creator. Fear, not to the whispers seemed to say, for you are not alone. The universe itself is your ally, and the love that binds all creation flows through your every breath. Through every step and every silent prayer, the chosen one approached the ultimate revelation of her mission to become the living testament to the enduring power of divine grace, to prove that within the darkest of places there exists the seed of light waiting to bloom, and to embody the eternal truth that even in the most forsaken corners of the earth, one individual can ignite a revolution of hope and redemption. The chosen one's journey was not merely a quest for personal salvation, but a divine mandate to restore the broken spirit of humanity, to mend the rifts of division, and to rekindle the flickers of faith that had been nearly extinguished. And as she stood at the precipice of her destiny, she could feel the first stirrings of the new dawn, a dawn that would herald a new epoch of divine love, wherein humanity would once again recognize their true purpose and place in the cosmic tapestry of existence. Deep within the folds of a hidden valley, far from the light of civilization, lay a secluded sanctuary known to few. Here, under the hushed whispers of ancient trees and the eternal caress of the wind, there lived a soul known as the Chosen One. This wanderer was not like others. They bore within their heart a divine secret, a message from the Almighty that set their very soul alight with purpose. This mission was the beacon that would guide them through the shadows of uncertainty to the dawn of revelation. The Chosen One walked a path lined with the spectral memories of those who had come before them. Each step resonated with an echo, a song of ages past where prophets and saints once tread. Here, under the sky's vault, where the stars whispered secrets to the night, the Chosen One often found solace, a place where the divine could breathe through the silence. The mission of the Chosen One was not merely to reveal God's word, but to embody it in every breath, every heartbeat. They were tasked with a sacred duty to be the vessel through which a new understanding of the Spirit would flow. The path was arduous, lined with trials that sought to erode their spirit, test their resolve, and challenge their faith. But within each trial lay the seed of a deeper understanding. Each hardship, a lesson. Each setback, a step toward enlightenment. The Chosen One's first step toward fulfilling this divine mission was to recognize their unique calling. Set apart from the flock, they were marked by a luminous inner light that shone even in the darkest of nights. This light was not just a physical manifestation, but a spiritual sign, a divine luminescence that pulsed with the rhythm of the cosmos. It was a constant reminder that they belonged to a lineage of the chosen, those destined to carry the torch of spiritual revelation. As the chosen one ventured deeper into the valley, they encountered a hermit, a sage whose wise eyes had seen the tapestry of existence unfold across the eons. The hermit spoke of the spiritual essence of the mission, describing the sacred duty to illuminate the path for others. "You are not like them," he said, his voice carrying the weight of ancient wisdom. "For they walk in darkness, blinded by their own desires and fears. But you, beloved of the Almighty, shall bring the light to the shadows." The chosen one listened, absorbing each word with an insatiable hunger. It was a daunting truth, yet they embraced it with a heart full of resolve. Their task was to bring God's light to a world in spiritual darkness, to shine forth a beacon of hope and truth. They were to be a bridge between the divine and the earthly, a conduit for divine grace. Every moment was a prayer, every action a testament to their mission. As the days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the chosen one's journey took on a transformative quality. They encountered various souls, some weary, some hopeful, others lost in the labyrinth of their own making. To each, they offered words of wisdom, whispers of hope, and a touch of divine love. They did not proclaim themselves as the deliverer, but through their silent acts of kindness and unwavering faith, they began to weave the fabric of a new spiritual understanding. The chosen one's path was fraught with obstacles, yet each challenge was met with an unwavering spirit. They faced skepticism, doubt, and resistance, but within these trials was the essence of their mission to transform despair into hope, to turn the tide of despair into a river of redemption. It was said that when the chosen one looked into the eyes of a lost soul, they saw not despair, but an opportunity for salvation, a chance to guide them back to the light. In the heart of the sanctuary, the chosen one would often retreat to a sacred grove where they would commune with the divine. It was here that they felt the presence of the Almighty most profoundly. They would kneel, hands folded, and let the whispers of the divine wash over them, filling them with strength and purpose. This communion was not a mere ritual, but a profound spiritual engagement, a time to drink deeply from the wellspring of divine love. As seasons changed, the chosen one began to see the fruits of their labor. The whispers of hope that had once seemed but a distant dream began to echo in the hearts of many. They saw a transformation in the souls they had touched, a burgeoning dawn of spiritual awakening. Each success was a testament to their mission, a reminder of the divine purpose that had called them forth. Finally, as the culmination of their journey approached, the chosen one understood that their mission was not merely to spread God's word, but to live it, to embody the divine truth in every facet of their existence, to be a living testament to the power of faith and love. They realized that the true essence of their mission lay not in the numbers of those they had saved, but in the transformation that had taken place within their own soul. In the end, the chosen one stood as a beacon of divine truth, a living embodiment of God's special message. Their journey had been one of profound spiritual transformation, a testament to the power of faith, love, and the unwavering human spirit. They had traversed the darkest of valleys, emerged into the light, and in doing so had become the bridge that led others to the divine light they themselves had found. Thus, the chosen one's legacy would live on as a timeless reminder of the transformative power of divine love and the eternal journey of the human spirit towards the divine light. In the stillness of the night, when the world surrendered to the whispers of slumber, there existed a small, humble abode nestled in the shadows of a forgotten village. In this house lived the chosen one, a soul destined for an extraordinary path, a journey illuminated not by the blinding glare of the sun, but by the intimate, trembling light of divine purpose. The chosen one's nights were not filled with dreams of grandeur or omens of glory, but with quiet revelations, with a serene, unwavering confirmation of a destiny intricately carved by the hands of a creator whose love transcended understanding. The chosen one was left in the dark by the world's eyes, a paradox that spoke volumes of their divine purpose. While others sought the blinding spotlight, this soul was embraced by shadows woven into a tapestry of silence and solitude that only deepened their connection to the Maker. Through the veils of obscurity, the chosen one discovered the profound truth that in the depths of darkness, the brilliance of the divine light could shine with undiminished clarity. It was in these profound moments of stillness that the chosen one began to hear the whispered echoes of God's voice, a voice that seemed to reverberate through the very fabric of their being. This journey was one of profound spiritual detail, a pilgrimage marked by the subtle yet unmistakable cues of the Almighty. Each heartbeat, each breath bore the signature of a Creator who had meticulously crafted every nuance of the chosen one's existence. In the stillness, the chosen one discerned a call that was not loud and boisterous, but one that resonated with a gentle, persistent insistence. It was a call to awaken the dormant potential within and to embark on a mission that would set alight the otherwise silent corridors of this forsaken village and beyond. The chosen one's mission was not one of physical strength or martial prowess, but of spiritual fortitude and profound inner transformation. The path ahead was fraught with challenges, each trial a chance to witness the boundless mercy and grace of God. It was a journey through the labyrinth of human frailty, where the chosen one would learn to trust in the unseen, to forge connections through the unseen, to bring hope to the hopeless, and to kindle faith in the faltering. The village, though seemingly lifeless and forsaken, held within its crumbling heart the potential for renewal and redemption. The chosen one was to illuminate this place with the light of divine love, to be a beacon of hope for those who wandered in the shadow of despair. It was a mission to heal the broken and mend the fractured, to be an instrument of God's grace in a world that often seemed indifferent to the plight of the soul. As the chosen one walked through the village, the air thick with silence and forgotten dreams, they felt the weight of the mission upon their shoulders. Yet it was not a burden, but a blessing, a testament to the unfathomable love of God. In every step they felt the echo of divine purpose, a path mapped out by a Creator whose love was as boundless as the sky. The chosen one understood that they were not like others, for they bore the unique mark of divine selection, a tapestry of spiritual detail woven into their very essence. The chosen one's heart swelled with a profound sense of purpose, a mission that transcended temporal concerns and reached into the eternal. They were to be a living testament to the transformative power of God's grace, to show that in the darkest of places, the divine light could penetrate the thickest walls of sorrow and despair. It was a journey that would demand the utmost sacrifice, the shedding of personal desires for the greater good, but it was one that filled the chosen one's soul with an unshakable joy. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the chosen one's task unfolded with each passing moment. They walked among the village's inhabitants, offering not just solace, but the promise of a radiant future. They healed the brokenhearted, mended the fractured, and rekindled the dying embers of faith. It was a mission that called for patience, for wisdom, for the ability to discern the unseen wounds of the soul, and to minister with an understanding that only the divine could bestow. The chosen one's journey was marked by encounters that tested their spirit moments, when doubt crept in like a shadow, yet was always met with the unwavering light of faith. It was in these moments that the chosen one truly understood the depth of their calling, the magnitude of the divine trust placed upon their shoulders. They were to be a bridge between the earthly and the heavenly, to bear witness to a love that transcends all understanding, to be the conduit of God's mercy and grace in a world in need of redemption. In the culmination of their mission, the chosen one would stand before the village, transformed by the journey, a vessel of God's love and mercy. They would not be like the others, for they carried within them the unique imprint of divine selection, a mission that was not just a path, but a revelation of the boundless love of God. They were to be a testament to the power of divine purpose, a beacon of hope in the darkness, forever echoing the sublime truth that they were chosen not for themselves, but for the world. Thus, the Chosen One's journey, though long and fraught with trials, was a testament to the divine love that shaped every detail of their existence. It was a journey that spoke of a mission deeply embedded in the fabric of their soul, a call to bring light to the dark hope, to the hopeless, and love to the broken, forever echoing the divine truth that they were not like the others because they were chosen, made special by the very essence of God's love. And in this profound truth, the Chosen One found their ultimate purpose, their eternal mission. The moon hung high in the night sky, a solitary sentinel, casting its ethereal light upon the Chosen One, who was left in the shadows. The air was thick with the scent of ancient woods and whispered secrets, an aura of sanctity that felt as if it held the breath of ages. In her heart, a profound and inexplicable purpose began to unfold, an instinctual understanding that she was not merely a passive observer in the vast tapestry of existence, but a vital thread woven into the divine plan itself. Though surrounded by the darkness that seemed to swallow all hope, the Chosen One felt a warmth emanating from within, a divine ember, flickering to life, igniting her spirit with an unquenchable fire. It was a fire that burned with the promise of a mission entrusted by a voice that transcended time and space. The words echoed through the corridors of her mind, reverberating with the resonance of celestial truth. "Thou art not like them, for thou hast been marked